I was at work and I got up from my desk to stretch and walk to the break room. Down at the very end, I saw this guy, and I swear to God, he looked like an alien. He looked like the most, like a gray. You know, like an alien, like a gray? He looked like a gray inside a human suit. And so I was walking towards the break room, and he was talking to somebody facing like that way if I'm looking at him this way. And I remember going, man, that dude looks more like an alien than I've ever seen in my life. That is definitely an alien. And immediately, the guy goes right at me.
Did he hear you?
Wait, no, I was thinking this. Eye contact, hard, right at me. Okay, and then I go, because I'm not going to break eye contact with somebody who makes eye contact with me in the wild.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I maintain eye contact as I'm walking. I'm looking at him. I'm like, in my head again. I'm thinking this.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I wonder if he can hear my thoughts, and he's definitely an alien. And then he goes and looks back to the person he was talking to, and never acknowledges me again. I went and got coffee in the break room. Came out, and he was gone.
I thought you were gonna say, like, just for a second, that he like went and revealed like 5 rows of teeth and like a weird tongue thing like that.
And I was like, holy shit, did y'all see that? Cheryl, did you see that? And she's like, what are you talking about? I was just looking at Mr. Henry.
And then all of a sudden someone calls you and they're like, Joel, you need to get to the window.
and I actually work in a hive of aliens.
Yeah.
I work at an alien company.
You need to get to the window. I need you to trust everything that I say. You need to just trust every word that I tell you. And if you do, you're going to be fine.
This makes a lot of sense because they did say that my salary is going to be $100 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of...
Six quick clicks.
I don't know what the conversion is, but...
It's not bad.
In response!
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Weekly. Thank you for coming back. We took a week off. We always appreciate you giving us a little break. We try and fill it with a good video for you. Drop a little deck tech here and there. As always, if you like our videos, make sure you go down there and you click buttons. Any button. It can be any subscribe, like, dislike, really any of them. But what's our rule, Jake?
Just if you're logged out and you don't have an account and you just want to watch the content, please just watch the content. We're not asking you to log in. We're not asking you to create an account.
Ugh,
but
that's too much. So, upkeeping this week. Holy crap, there's a lot going on and way too much to catch up on.
Yeah, there is. I mean, Dominaria is coming up. We have MTG Arena, which is a huge thing.
Right.
Brawl just came out, which is like this format that's supposed to like revitalize standard cards. And
M25 has come and gone.
Yeah, Masters 25 ended up being a huge flop, which we didn't think
financially,
it was going to be.
It was fun to draft, though.
Yeah, I drafted it, I think, 4 times.
Yeah, it was a fun draft format.
I pulled a recruiter. I pulled an ensnaring bridge.
Did you pull a Jace?
No, I traded for a Jace.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I sold my Jace into the Unban hype, and then I traded the Jace at a reasonable price.
Oh, doing it a finance.
I want it for cube, even though we never even play. The thought of having a cube is...
We don't play Magic here at Jake and Joel Are Magic. We're too busy talking about it.
We put too much time into talking about it. We don't get to play it.
Lots of Dominaria hype. Lots of good, cool, really, really cool stuff. The Dominaria hype is real. We're not going to cover it this week. We're going to talk about something completely different.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to touch on the fact that we know it exists. We know it's super hype. We are super hype.
Yes.
We're going to do a whole episode on it in the future.
Yeah. So before we get into our main phase one, just letting everybody know, this episode is going to be about MTG Arena.
Arena!
This is Magic's new, hot, They've kind of like made an artistic.
We're gonna call it Hearthstone clone.
Yeah, they've made like a Hearthstone clone, but
with MTG, which is a vastly superior game
for sure. So if you're bored of MTG Arena, or if you're like sick of it, please feel free to stick around and deal with it.
Yeah, tell us how we're dumb in the comments. Tell us how you hate Arena.
Yeah,
change our minds. That's a big thing
change
right
our
now.
minds
Change
because a lot of people, are complaining about Arena, and there's a lot of good things about it. There's some things that will definitely make it better, and we're going to be covering all of those this episode.
Yep.
But before we do, I will say I personally am streaming MTG Arena.
Nice.
Under the name Visidrix86.
Ah, yeah.
And so if you want
link is in the description
to tune in to my stream, please check out the link. Feel free to follow, and we're going to be making it like a 4-day-a-week kind of thing.
Yeah, there'll be a schedule later, but he is streaming. Get down there, click once a month or whenever I really feel like it. I'll sit next to him on the stream and we'll bullshit like we normally do and play some Magic. But go follow Jake.
If you want to sit there, if you want to interact with us, talk with us, come join the community. It's going to be a great time. And let's just get into the main phase.
Let's do it. As we move into our main phase 1, Arena is out. Everybody is streaming it. Everybody is playing it.
Everybody wants beta keys.
Everybody wants beta keys. Everybody's talking about it. We've played it. We've both played it. Jake's been streaming it.
Yep.
We wanted to kind of give our first impressions. So, Jake.
Yes.
MTG Arena, what do you think is good about it? Let's focus on the positives.
Okay. What I like about this is they have made a attractive, as far as the aesthetic goes, game that I think was built for streaming. I think the people that were in charge of this
built for like an electronic age. I keep hearing people say it's built for streaming, and I agree.
Yeah,
but I think it's that aesthetic of I want to download an app. I think at the end of the day, one day it's made for this. This is what they're aiming at.
Yeah, and drag and drop kind of
iPads and this. Yeah. And in the same way that Hearthstone has, they've created a aesthetically pleasing, quick version of their game.
Yeah, I think if they get a couple artists to come in here and really come up with some cool, decent, better backdrops, it's going to be, really cool. But what essentially they've done here is where MTGO or Moto, whatever you want to call it, has just this old client, which I'm not trying to diminish the client because there is tons of programming. There are insane amounts of cards that are in this. Right. Any card ever printed has its mechanics imbued into the game, and that's very cool.
Definitely.
I think that game...
Difficult. Holy crap.
Yeah, and some of the top streamers stream Moto, and people are happy to watch it, and it's a great time. It's a great game. It is what it is. But Wizards was trying to come up with a way to create a game that was pretty,
right,
and that didn't have to go in and rewrite all of that programming or bring all of that programming over. And I think a lot of people complain about that, but in many ways it's a good thing.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons and tons of cards that we don't even have to think about. So the game, in a way, is its own meta.
Right.
It's block Ixalan, block Amonkhet.
Yeah.
Build the best thing that you can. And what's cool is you don't have to worry about the other cards from the past because they're a non-factor. So you get to go in and just kind of build from a limited card pool. It does kind of remind me of an early Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Vanilla, let's see what people come up with.
Right. I think it's, from what I've seen, it's opened up a lot of cards that have never been played and I've never touched are suddenly powerhouses. Glyph Keeper, that's my best example.
Bro, Glyph Keeper.
Glyph Keeper right now is really good. And we're in our main phase 2, we're going to really get into the meta and what decks are good, what cards are good, what is bad, what is bad. At my core, my favorite part of this game is the deck brewing aspect of it. It's why I was so excited when Brawl came out. It's why I really am enjoying Arena right now. I like artificial limitations on deck building. Hey Joel, build a theme deck around Nicol Bolas. Hey Joel, build a deck, but everything's got to be converted mana cost 3 or less and only red, or whatever. You know? Any little limitation is fun to me. It's a fun deck building challenge. And so having Arena have 4 sets, essentially, only 4 sets, right? 2 blocks.
You have 4 sets
to build from is really opening up.
Dominaria is going to be a thing in the future.
Right,
we're going to see a lot of cool stuff come over, and
so I would say our favorite parts of it right now are the aesthetic, and I'm actually liking the limited deck building aspect.
Also, wild cards.
Yeah,
wild cards are a good thing.
Yeah.
Do I wish there were dust and I could go in and
he's referring to the Hearthstone mechanic of being able to kill cards and gain enough of whatever currency, dust in Hearthstone's case, and rebuild them if you don't happen to play Hearthstone.
But what's good about this game is you don't get extras of cards.
Right.
You only get what you don't have.
Yeah.
So eventually, if you are like hardcore about it, you're just going to build up your collection.
Yeah, you will build up the collection.
But yeah, you get to wild card for certain things. You have a vault that gives you only wild cards that lets you, go in and tune your decks. I think what's cool about it right now, people aren't really spending a lot of money on it because they can't. And so people are working with what they've got.
Yeah.
So the meta right now is actually really cool. You have a lot of people that are like, well, I went ahead and I got 3 Glory Bringers, so I'm playing red.
Yeah, I'm a Glory Bringer player.
Or, you have some people that are, they're just like, I immediately spent my Mythic Wild card on Scarab God.
Of course.
Because why not have blue black in a good spot?
Yeah, it's a good time. And I will also say, in advance of it, hopefully and probably one day being on iPads or Android pads or phone, my laptop is touch screen, and so if I just take it and fold it back, I can set it in my lap, and that's how I've been playing, is like this,
drag and drop
cards and dragging and dropping, and it works beautifully. I will tell you, it works beautifully, and I would never imagine doing that playing MTG online.
No.
I would play only with a mouse.
There's so much.
Really not even like a trackpad. I would only play with a mouse because you want to be able to right click and click
and then you need to add in stops to certain phases.
Exactly. But they've even made it where if you're scrying, your deck is here in the middle, your card is here, and it says, do you want to keep it on top or do you want to drag it over here and it's on the bottom?
Yes.
And that's just how they've set the whole thing up. It's already, you can tell, it's already drag and drop friendly.
So the big question right now, we were just talking about everything that's good about MTG Arena.
Right.
We're going to talk about what could we change and what could make it better. And actually, before we even get into this, think about adding that to the comments. If there's something that you really would change, please drop it in. Let us know what you would change. We're going to see if it's congruent with anything that we would change.
Right.
And we'll see, the more we tweet about it, the more we bring it up, the more likely Wizards...
it's why they're in beta right now. They want this feedback.
And they are saying right now that they are super enthusiastic about this.
It's one of the loading screens on the game, if you haven't had a chance to play, is like, we are listening to your feedback.
We are listening.
We've hacked your laptop's camera and we've watched you play.
So make sure you put tape over that little camera. But essentially, things we would change, things that would make the game better.
Yeah.
Go. What do you got?
So, a couple of times while I've been watching, and one time specifically with him, I've seen misclicks play a huge part in this.
Turn this to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, beginning with the next end step. No! Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah.
Now, I get that in video gaming as a whole, and Moto, and it's not going to be immune in this game, that misclicking that's a part of it. You got to be careful. He had this creature, Nezahal, with an instant cast ability. Now, the creature always would stop the game clock or whatever, because you could respond, technically, even though you wouldn't want to, with his ability at any time, in response to their untap step, in response to their end of turn. And he would glow blue. Now, there was no stopping it once you click on him to even see what he does. If you think intuitively, if I want to read him one more time, I got to click on him and that'll bring up a bigger image of him, maybe.
Yeah.
But because he was glowing blue and it was technically like an instant response chance, it automatically activated him. So one of my first notes is maybe like some kind of stopgap.
Are you sure?
Right, like an "Are you sure?" I don't really have a great fix for this per se, but I have noticed that with instant abilities on creatures or artifacts that don't require any cost besides activating it, tapping it, whatever.
That's true. That's true. Because with the gods,
just happen because you would intuitively think, I want to click to read it.
Yeah.
So maybe some kind of stopgap for that. That would be my first note.
No, I think that's a great note because even with clicking on like the Locust God or something like that, just are you sure you want to pay 4 mana and draw a card to discard a card?
And it's a very minutiae thing because if you don't have auto tap on, clicking Scarab God, it would then say pay 5, and you could have the option to cancel then.
Oh yeah,
but with Nezahal specifically, and I'm assuming other creatures and artifacts, there's just no activation cost besides do this.
Now, following up to Joel's, what he would change. This is something that I think we could add that would make something better. Although you made it clear to me that your bar, there's like a little arc and a bar over your name that lets you know where you are in your phase. I think in addition to this, we could just utilize the top left of the screen and just have this spot that just says opponent's main phase 1, opponent's attack step.
In Hearthstone, there's no phases in Hearthstone, but they have kind of a runner on the side that says what was the last stuff played.
Yeah, so something like that.
They can even do that and have the listing of the phases. Look, I've seen this complaint about the phases so much on Twitter, and full honesty, right before we shot tonight, he was telling me about how we should add this, and I was like, oh, well, you got to look at that bar that's glowing above your picture, and it's got the little things highlighted. And he goes, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
It's so unnoticeable in the context of the game itself, because this game is going...
Right. And human beings, we multitask. And so when we're multitasking and we're doing things...
And that's just to tap a couple mana and play your treasure map.
Yeah, true. And so human beings, we also like to, multitask. We like to do other things. If I'm watching a show and I'm playing the game or something distracts me...
I get a text message, whatever.
Yeah, I want to be able to come back, look at the screen, and know exactly where we are in our phases. I don't want to be like, wait a minute, this says attack... So wait, if I click attack, are my dudes about... Everything's untapped.
Yeah.
So if I click attack, are I about to pick attackers, or are they about to attack? Do I need to cast an instant now? Wait a minute, which phase is it?
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to look up and be like, opponent's main phase 2. Oh, exactly. Opponent's main phase 2. It's about to be their end step. Maybe I should cast op now.
Yeah.
Just something.
And then a runner. Honestly, I would love a runner of the stuff that had been played.
Or just a runner of the phases.
Yeah, look, the argument is going to be pay attention. But that's sure. We're making the opposite argument now, is that you're playing a game on your laptop while watching TV to unwind at the end of the night. You're playing a game on the train on your phone going to work. It's like, oh man, that bum over there started screaming. I better look at him for just a couple seconds.
Make sure I'm not in danger.
Make sure he's not going to kill me. Past that, things to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to drafting on this game. That might be the main thing I do on this game.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to friends lists on this game, because it would be really a good time to say, yo, Jake, I built dwarfs deck from Kaladesh. That's not in the game, but you know what I'm saying. I built a zombie deck. I'm on Kedlock.
Elves from Dominaria.
Yeah, play me in a Dominaria block deck. Just mash some cards together real fast and play me in some specific thing. I'll bet $2 on it.
Just sit there, kind of bullshit while we play, have some fun.
Exactly. That I'm really looking forward to friends list, and I'm looking forward to drafts. And I will take drafts, phantom drafts, or keeper drafts.
Yeah, phantom draft where you don't get to keep the product, but you get prizes.
And it's cheaper to play, probably.
And drafts, that's going to be a great way to build a collection.
Absolutely. And I'm interested to see how they handle that. If they do offer drafts where you get to keep everything because you bought in for the price of, 3 booster packs or 4 booster packs in the game.
No, I think, draft is... has always been a good, frugal way to play with the cards that you open.
You're right.
But then also go, you know what? I do want to take this, common removal spell. That's great.
Right.
But someone just passed me, this rare vampire that I've been looking for my deck.
Right.
And then you get to add it to Constructed. And maybe you don't do great in that draft, but hey, you got to pick up a couple of staples that you needed for your deck.
Right. Or if you know going in, I'm not playing this draft to be competitive. I'm just going to draft all the red spells I can because I'm really trying to build this red deck.
Yeah.
Or all the merfolk I can.
Or just
really
rare draft. Be like, I'm just trying to build a collection for cheap.
Right.
I don't want to buy a bunch of packs and just open them randomly. So, yeah, I think it's going to be good.
There's a lot to look forward to. Arena's super fun so far. Again, Jake is streaming it. Link is in the description. Go follow him.
Yeah.
But I'm positive about this game. I really am.
Yeah, I'm positive about it as well. I hope that Wizards, unlike Duels of the Planeswalkers, stays vigilant about updating it, and they realize, for the first time in a long time, you were, for a short period of time, able to find MTG on Twitch in like one of the top 10 games.
Yeah.
And so if Magic really realizes the potency of having a game that, Twitch isn't going away. People have replaced sports with Twitch.
Not replaced. Baseball has started by the time this video is coming out.
No, that's fine. And
it ain't replaced.
And baseball fans are still going to be baseball fans. But the people that have always been on the middle ground, or the people that don't really care about sports or whatever, that are like, I'd rather watch a Street Fighter tournament.
It's an additional sport. It's more sport to watch.
It is. It's just like, I don't really want to come home and watch Law & Order SVU. I just want to watch my favorite streamer play this game.
Right.
And so by Wizards recognizing this, and if they really do cultivate and keep up with the game and make sure that they do hear the community, this could be something that's very good for them. This could be something that moving forward really puts them on the map, brings them new players. The format isn't, overbearing like Modern or Legacy or Cube. It doesn't have all of the cards. So players that are more casual, or players that are just like, I want to play Magic, but I heard it was a huge money sink. Well, get in now. Be here for Arena.
Play casually.
Get to learn the game. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
All right, so you stuck with us during main phase 1. Now, moving into main phase 2, we're just going to talk. It is more Arena. This is an Arena episode.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the meta as of March 30th. That is today. That is the moment you are watching this video.
Yep.
So what this takes into account is the rate at which people are opening packs, like the hardcore players.
Those are the big affecting factors, I think, to discuss before we talk about what the meta is right now. Is people aren't spending money on it. And so a big thing right now is, I've achieved a 4 set. I used like he said earlier, I used my rare wildcards to get Glory Bringers. I used my Mythic to get some Scarab Gods. It's what people are kind of choosing to go into right now. And the smart players with the best decks right now are kind of going all in on one strategy. Use all your rares and mythics to support your Merfolk
Your
deck.
one deck.
Use all your rares and mythics to support your blue-black control with a splash of red for Nicol Bolas. That kind of thing.
We're Grixis over here. I stream a Grixis deck for Locust God.
Yeah, so that is the big factor right now in the closed beta MTG Arena post-NDA drop 2 weeks in meta.
Yes.
I
think you covered all your bases.
Right. That's all the words, I think.
Yeah.
Is that the scarcity is a huge issue right now.
Yeah. So, when I'm looking at, in my blue-black control deck, these final rewards, and I know, obviously, that Vraska's Contempt would be, a better card.
Of course.
I don't have rare wild cards to spend on it.
Right. And that is the biggest, the biggest part of the meta right now is this blue-black control is running rampant. They had 8-10 pre-made decks.
And Dimir Manipulation is the one that's just like, it comes with
a
lot of card draw.
10 pre-made decks.
It has Tetzamok, which is just like a house by itself.
It was the best one right out of the gate was that blue-black control deck with the Merfolk one close behind it.
Yeah, so I would say you go into Dimir Manipulation if you're playing Arena.
Yeah.
You take out a couple of the arbitrary one-ups that aren't that good.
Sure.
You make one mythic wild card into a Scarab God and jam 4 opt some kite sail freebooters.
Make that your focus is your first mythic rare card,
Scarab God,
and then focus on getting 4 opt.
4 opt because they're common wild cards, which are quick.
Yeah, which are quick.
But then I went for a extra Golden Demise because there's a lot of aggro.
Yeah, there's a lot of go wide aggro right now.
And then
that's left over from the Ixalan block closed bed apart because Ixalan block was huge go wide aggro.
Yeah. But then the other thing you need to think about is it is actually kind of heavy on uncommon wild cards because you need to get kite sail freebooters.
Yes, another important.
I play 3 of them.
3 of them.
I play 3, and then I play 2 Ravenous Chupacabra.
Yep, Ravenous Chupacabra is huge. So that is probably the best deck to immediately take 6 cards out use your wild cards to jam those in, and you've got a deck that's going to win 75% of the time.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is right now blue-black control is, I would say, it is easily tier 1. It's like the deck that is winning a lot. You have a lot of aggro strategies that are popping up in Merfolk and Mono Red. And then I would actually say that those are very well tuned against blue-black. But then also we have Dinosaurs, which can go late.
Yeah.
But is kind of weak. And you also have to think like Black-White Vampires is also a deck that I see a good bit. Now, all of these decks, like if you're playing one of the aggro strategies because you want to play and do well against blue-black, you have to know like you might get blown out by the red-white aggro deck, or you might get blown out by the Merfolk deck.
Right.
And so right now I still think black-blue, or in our case, it's the Grixis control for Locust God is our only red spell. Is just like, it's so good. It even comes with a Field of Ruin, so you can blow up their pesky Ark of Araska.
The most dominant, and you would need many more cards to make this work, but the most dominant one I've seen splashed 1 green and 1 red, so that they could with 4 Evolving Wilds, so that they could top end with Nicol Bolas and Vraska. And so you end with those 2 planeswalkers, but the whole thing up until that point is the blue-black control deck. And guys, I'm telling you, it's like I said earlier, Glyph Keeper is a great card in this deck.
Oh my god.
And when have you ever heard those words come out of a Magic player's mouth?
Glyph Keeper is a card that I'm never, ever upset to see.
Right.
In this closed meta, like this 4-set meta, Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation, Rivals of Ixalan, and Explorers of Ixalan, or whatever it is. Ixalan.
First Ixalan, then Rivals. Explorers was the board game.
Oh, that's right. So Ixalan, Rivals, Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation.
Right.
Glyph Keeper, because your opponent has to expel 2 spells and or abilities in order to kill it or make it vulnerable. This is just a card that has so much potency, and then the fact that you can bring it back,
that's the big thing. Embalm is the huge.
And now now it's essentially a 4 for 2, or if you simplify, a 2 for 1 both ways.
Right.
So you bring it out the first time. If they don't have a counter, they have to deal with it. You bring it out the second time. If they don't have a counter, they have to spend 2 more spells on it. Yeah,
because the counter you've got is Negate, Essence, Scatter. The removal in the 4 sets isn't that fantastic.
Yes.
You don't have Fatal Push, and so you just don't have access to the same counter removal. So we really recommend early meta right now. Play that blue-black control deck. Figure out which cards you like the best or the best performers for you. Get the 4 ofs of those, jam those in, and rock and roll. We say all that knowing that this meta is in evolution. Right now, it's
a lot of people were saying, including myself, I'll just throw myself on the chopping block as well. This format solved. Blue-black is the way to go.
Right.
But until people get full 4 ofs, until people are able to complete their decks, make sure that they have completely tuned it the way a player would tune a standard deck.
Exactly.
It is far from solved.
It's difficult to do that right now with the economy the way it is, because you can't buy packs and really ramp your clock on earning cards. You have to stick to the slow grind. Everybody has to stick to the slow grind.
And I think this was smart of Wizards, because I remember reading an article about how this one guy was like, yeah, when a new Hearthstone, he prefaces this by saying, hey, I'm a lawyer and I have a lot of expendable income, and when a new Hearthstone set comes out, I spend about $1,000 on it because I want to get every card and I want to have,
right. That doesn't surprise me that those people exist.
No, and those people are the same people that donate to people on Twitch. They're the same people that have expendable income for whatever they want. They do.
Exactly.
They worked hard. They became a lawyer. They should be able to spend that money.
Right.
And so once the game is in a point where people are spending money on it, we can expect to see a meta that is, in the process of getting solved.
Learning itself, right, exactly. Yeah. But right now, I really think it's wide open. The early favorite is definitely that blue-black, and I think that is hugely in part to it being the best out-of-the-box option for the pre-made decks that everybody's getting.
Which comes to what Joel was saying.
Right.
Which is, it has a great control package based on the cards that are available. 4 Essence Scatter, 4 Negate.
Yeah.
4 Censor, 4 Supreme Will. You have Spell Swindle. Anything that you want in your counter suite, you have it.
It's already built into the decks. It's great. It's fantastic.
So it's just like when you have all of these counter spells, like sometimes there's some sets and sometimes where Standard doesn't have Essence Scatter in it and it doesn't have Negate in it.
Right.
This has Essence Scatter, Negate, Cancel, Censor, Supreme Will. Whatever you want to put into it, like, holy crap, man. Like, you can just build any kind of control deck that you want with this meta.
Definitely. Let us know what decks you've seen in the meta. Let us know what deck you're trying to acquire your 4-ofs if you're playing. We want to know something to beat the blue-black. We like to be subversive. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We went long this week, so the in-step is going to be nothing. Make sure you click buttons down there. What are all the memes? Make sure follow
Thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate it so much. Other than that, go to his Twitch thing. It's down there. Make sure you go follow him.
Visitrdrix86.
Yeah, look at it. We'll pop it on Twitter.
We'll gonna be streaming 4 nights a week.
Yeah, everybody do that. Hope you enjoyed the MTG Arena episode. Bye, I'm tapped out.
Goodbye.
Bye.